Yo, what up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Arcade Future, and I'm back with another video. It's been a minute. I know that. I'm aware of that. I apologize about that. I kind of saw the Doom the Dark Ages footage, and I plan to react to it, but I don't want to say I was underwhelmed, but I was definitely surprised about how slow the game really looked. And before making any judgments about the game, seeing that so many other people already got to play that game during its, I guess, private playtest, if you want to call it that. Um, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna wait till the game comes out because it comes out in May, and I'll just play it and give my review then and release gameplay footage then. So I just kind of was like, let me just play it, let me get my hands on it, let me get a feel for it. The game looks good, but it's really different. It's really really different, and it's different in the way that I don't think that the game is more exhilarating or excessive like Doom Eternal was. So I thought, let me just wait. But today's video is about Marathon. And Marathon is the new FPS extraction shooter by Bungie. Now, Bungie, if you don't know, is responsible for Destiny. It's also responsible for the incredible Halo series. And I might talk a little bit about Halo Infinite's most recent update too in this video. Um, but Marathon, I want to share my impressions with about Marathon, this game, and what I think about the game overall. And my I've been hyped for this game for a while actually. I really like the art style, especially the art style revealed in the trailers, and I really like the gameplay overall. I like how there are a lot of variables and elements to success. There's loot. There's obviously the FPS element. There's PvP, PvE elements as well. There's environmental changes like rain and things like that, and I think all of that is really exciting and really cool. It's a bit of everything that I would want in an FPS multiplayer game in a sense, like the really bold, unique art style, like accessible FPS controls, and progression, character skill progression. I think that and loot, right? I think all of those elements make it really fun, and it makes it also objective and mission based as opposed to just a team deathmatch mode. So I think it looks like there could be some very exciting encounters and interactions in the game, and that sounds really cool to me. So I think the gameplay is off to a good start. I think it's in the right direction. My biggest concern, and I'm going to go ahead and mention this now, is that I'm concerned about the game's broader appeal and its ability to maintain an audience and to stay profitable and to stay accessible and relevant on the game store, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. Because the game is not going to be free to play. That's the first thing. So people are going to have to pay to play this game, either 40, 60, 70 bucks. I'm not sure how much it is. Someone in the comments can let me know. But the game is going to be, it's going to cost. And the graphics and art direction of this game, uh, to me, is incredible. It reminds me a bit of, minimalism, neo-futuristic sort of designs, like Mirror's Edge comes to mind, specifically Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I'm reminded a little bit of Metal Eden, which is another game slated to come out, I believe, in May, which is an FPS game, very futuristic, Doom inspired. Basically, it's like a futuristic, minimal aesthetic with like bright neon colors, and it looks really cool to me. And it's got a little bit of a cell shaded animation effect as well, but the colors look really bright, and it looks to me like all of the work is behind it with promotional material is experimental in nature, and that tells me that the developers feel really really strong about this game and they want to take a bold unique stance, but I'm concerned whether or not the broader gaming community is going to be ready for it because it doesn't really look like anything else on the market. I mean, there are some gameplay comparisons, obviously, to Destiny and Apex Legends, but I think, ultimately the aesthetic sort of stands out in its own right, and it's relatively a new IP, right? It's obviously a classic IP from the 90s, but to new gamers, it might as well be a whole new intellectual property. So I'm concerned whether or not this game will be able to maintain the audience because of its unique art style and that concerns me. It reminds me of Spectre Divide a bit, which also has a similar color palette and a similar color direction, and similar art aesthetic as well. It's not obviously very different, but there are some similarities where it has this sort of animated, sort of indie approach, experimental film approach, and I like it a lot. I like Spectre Divide, but that game shut down. I like this game. I don't want it to shut down if it's really a good game. So that's concerning to me. How will this compare to the Halos, to the Call of Duties, to the Apex Legends, to the Fortnites, etc.? Um, I do love the music. They use Gesaffelstein, an incredible French electronic producer and DJ, in one of the trailers, and I imagine there could be more of his music and electronic similar music sprinkled throughout the actual game. I love that, but I also think it's very, very bold. Like if you look at the gameplay trailer for this game and you hear the music and the way that they're approaching the gameplay, it's very bold. And I think another issue with the game is that like in the trailers you can't totally tell what's going on or what the what players should be excited about in the game because it's because the colors are so different and the design is so different. Mix that with the sort of aggressive and polarizing music choice. Is just not it just is not really for normies, for lack of a better word. So I'm just really and when you watch the trailer, you don't know what is the thing to be hype about. You just like the way it looks, and then you're like, I would try it. I feel like that's going to be for most players, and the fact that this isn't free to play, it can definitely be a concern for me. So we'll see what happens. To me, this game is either going to be a huge success, and people are going to praise it and give it awards for its gameplay and design choices, or it will really struggle to make a mark and differentiate itself in the market while still being a valuable choice. It makes me think a lot about the microtransactions. Oh, and then the other thing is I think that this could be an overstep and too experimental and too confident from the developers, too bold, right? But then again, from the stories that I hear from the players who've got to go out to the headquarters, Bungie headquarters, I believe it's in DC, and play the game, they seem to be quite optimistic, and they seem to be like, to have talked to the development team who has given them a lot of opportunity to give harsh feedback so they can improve the game. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be totally wrong and the game is going to be a hit and it's going to be able to sustain itself. But it seems like a big budget game with big, bold risks being taken. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out. Microtransactions are also something to be concerned about. That is to be expected in any game, which is online only and team based. So will that be a big turnoff for players? Will they do it tastefully? Only time will tell. I kind of, like I said in the beginning about Doom, I kind of hesitate to give definitive or strong opinions or even comment at all on test footage or gameplay footage because it's really hard to tell what's actually going to stick once the game is released, what's actually going to get the proper support once the game is released. But what I will say is that the game looks fun to me. It looks cool to me. And it looks like there's a lot of cool and fun things to do in it, and the progression seems exciting. Whether or not it's a game that other people will feel the same about in mass, that is my only concern. What do you think about the new marathon footage? Are you excited for the game? Does it look good to you? Does it not look good to you? And stay tuned. I'm probably going to drop another video about Halo Infinite. I played the most recent update, and it was actually pretty good. Not bad at all. But of course, still needs some work. Not perfect. Frame drops on Xbox Series S. I'll talk about that in a future video. But stay locked in. I'm going to try to get some more videos out to you guys. I appreciate your time. And, RK Future here live and direct.